Hello, my name's David Solomons.
And I'm Mike Edwards.
And we're looking for a £100,000 investment for a 20% equity share in our company, Snuggle Bundle. Now, all parents know how difficult it is when you've eventually got your baby to sleep in your arms to then lay them down without waking them up. And this can be especially difficult if either parent suffers from a bad back or for mum's recovering after the birth. Stooping to lay your baby down without waking them up can be really awkward, and more often than not, they wake up and you end up having to do it all over again. But with the Snuggle Bundle, we've got the solution.
Yes, the Snuggle Bundle is the world's first baby lifting blanket. It's made from a lovely soft cotton and has padding to support and protect the head and neck, 2 soft, strong handles, and it's all fully safety tested. Now, instead of bending over awkwardly to lay your baby down, simply take the 2 handles and lower your baby down gently with a straight back. If your baby stirs, simply rock them back to sleep, and this is especially good for soothing colic symptoms.
Now when your baby's asleep and you need to move them, it's so easy. You just take the handles and you lift your baby softly and gently up to your arms without having to bend over and without waking them up. And Snuggle Bundle fits safely into pushchairs and prams, into supermarket trolley seats, but especially it's designed to go straight in and out of the car seat. You lift your baby in on the Snuggle Bundle as they sleep, and the straps will do up safely and securely in any make of car seat.
And with over 2,000 babies born every day in the UK alone, there's great potential for our company to grow rapidly. We would love you to join us in our Snuggle Bundle family and turn the Snuggle Bundle into a global brand. Thank you.
We welcome your questions.
A pitch with the cute factor from Mike Edwards and Dave Solomons from West Sussex. They're looking for £100,000 to carry their baby blanket business to the next level. On offer in return is a 20% stake. Kelly Hoppen looks impressed.
Hi David and Mike, I'm Kelly.
Hello, Kelly.
I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, my daughter's 29, but I do remember that moment every time you would try and get your child to sleep and then you lean down to put them down, they'd always wake up and you'd be busy sort of shaking them around again to get them to sleep.
When's the baby in it? Do you leave it in all the time just in case they fall asleep?
It's a garment, effectively. The baby would... it's a garment come mat for the baby. So whenever you go out, you can wrap... or they fall asleep, you can wrap them up, or when you want to lift them. So it's like a second skin for the baby.
Yeah. A lot of people
That's my question.
They're going to live in it until
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. They need to live in it in case they fall asleep.
It's for the first 6 months, so it's particularly for straight after the birth when a mum's, you know, a little bit tender and sore.
So you give birth in a snuggle blanket.
Yep.
4 years later, you take them out.
Yeah, you use it from day one, you put it in the hospital bag and use it straight away. And babies get used to the feel and smell of a blanket, so it becomes their blanket.
Tell me about the business. So is it being sold anywhere?
Yeah, we're doing incredibly well with it already. We've already sold just over 4,000 units, about 4,200.
And
it's really
what is
gathering
the cost
momentum.
of them?
They retail at $39.99, so we have got a gross profit margin of
76%.
And any stores that we would know of that you're selling into?
We've got a letter of interest from Boots at the moment, who really love the product and have asked us to keep in touch with them as we grow the brand.
Sorry, why would they say keep in touch and not ask you to come in?
Because the thing is, if you're a small producer like us, they often want to replace 1 or 2 at a time, and they work for a distributor of lots of different products in one go. They don't like to deal with individual manufacturers and suppliers.
Could we have a look? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sure. We've got
Give
some
us the
packages
baby.
there.
Interest from a major retailer, the icing on the cake for an already product-smitten Kelly Hoppen. But does Peter Jones share her enthusiasm?
Are we being serious? This is a carrier bag for a baby, and you're pitching this as a business that's worth £500,000.
I know. What's
You've put a handle on a blanket.
It's purely as a lifting aid.
You can do the same with a blanket. You just wrap your child in a blanket if you want to, and you put there, you just lift the baby up. The fact you've put a handle on it...
That's not so safe. That's not so safe. And to move them from one thing...
That's not safe anyway. You carry it, you start getting into some sort of routine and carry it, you know, you'll forget that you've got a baby in there, be carrying like a handbag. I mean, I don't know whether it's because, and I'm not being sexist here, whether it was the fact that it was weird having 2 blokes come in holding babies and pitching this concept. I don't know whether that's what's put me
No,
off
you
to
are being
start with.
sexist.
Could we bring in our third
Team member.
Our third
Is
team
your
member.
team member female?
Yes. I think it's a good time to bring Heidi in if we can.
Let's get Heidi in.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi.
Heidi, I just want to ask you a few questions because we've got these two very strange men that have walked in trying to convince me that a blanket with a handle on it is worth £500,000. What is your involvement in this?
OK, well, my background is I'm a qualified nursery nurse and I've worked for, I've managed family centres. So I've worked with babies and young children and families for over 20 years.
Could the child fall out of this carrier bag?
No, it's impossible to.
But the reality is that people have lived quite happily for many, many years by snuggling their child into a blanket.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to the understanding of why you think putting some handles on a blanket is worth £500,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely with you, and people can spend a lot of money on baby products that are, you know, 2-minute wonders that are just very, very gadgety. But because this blanket has got so many benefits, and of course there's sort of parenting and parenting styles and things that have come into the whole way we parent children. We now have car seats that weren't around, you know, years and years ago.
Heidi, you're not addressing Peter's question. He didn't say how many different uses have you got and how brilliant is it. The question was, why is a business that is basically in Peter's description, blanket with handles on it, why at this stage of the game is it worth £500,000?
Okay.
Mainly because of the response we've had, the response from all the experts, the response from the public, and the potential going forward.
Heidi's arrival may have brought some credibility to the pitch, but it's not prevented a dressing down from Deborah Meaden. How will the trio handle Duncan Bannatyne's questioning?
I think it was Mike that said there's 2,000 babies born in the UK every day. OK, how many of those are your customer base?
But, well, we do shows all the time.
No,
so
how many of those 2,000 are your customer base?
Well, we've sold over 4,000 units.
How many of those 2,000 are your customer base?
25%.
About 25%. So why are the rest of them not your customer base?
we don't know.
Well, they haven't heard about it yet.
I don't think they are, because I don't think there's a high percentage of those 2,000 who can't afford £40 for a blanket.
As we make more, as we order and make more, then hopefully we will be able to bring the price down.
We're gaining more and more publicity. We've recently on BBC 2.
Radio 2.
Radio
yeah.
2.
Simon Mayo show, so 2 million more people know about us very recently.
And what happened following that?
Well,
It just went crazy,
it just went
basically.
mad, yeah.
I mean, the orders just absolutely rolled in and are still coming in.
How
That's
many, though?
fantastic. And how much does crazy mean?
Well, our direct sales going from sort of 50 a month. Within 2 days, we were 265.
So a significant boost in sales from publicity. And now, Peter Jones is ready to have his say.
Guys, I've sat politely to see whether I feel that I was a bit harsh earlier. And the more I sit here, the more I realise that I don't think I'm wrong in my assessment of this. I'm not going to invest because I don't think that I will get anything like the return on the money that I need. I don't think your business is worth £500,000, and I do see it as a blanket with handles. So I'm sorry, guys, and Heidi, I'm not going to invest, and I'm out.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter.
Oh, that's so annoying. So annoying. I have to agree with Peter Jones again. You know, you might... I mean, there's no doubt you'll sell these on websites and independents and make a little bit of money, but it's not a business worth £500,000. So I have to agree with Peter and I have to say it. I'm out as well.
Disappointment for the entrepreneurs as two dragons take themselves out of the equation. Will Piers Linney follow suit?
Mike, David, Heidi, I mean, I like it. I just can't quite see... I'd always want it there at the time. I probably haven't put the baby in it, in my view. I think you will sell some. I think it's a... You know, you've obviously thought about it. It's a great design, and I can see there's absolutely a use for it. I'm just not convinced that if you invested £100,000, you know, you'd get the money back that you'd need to. So, you know, good luck with it, but I'm afraid I'm out.
Thank you.
Thanks, Piers.
Thank you.
Oh, I completely disagree with Peter and Duncan. And I'm really very unlike me because I'm usually very, very decisive. But I've been sitting here thinking, it feels like there's something about this, but I've actually made my mind up now and it's not going to go the right way for you. I have an instinct that this works. And actually, £100,000, you know, for less money, I'd probably have thought, you know what, we'll give it a go. £50,000, we'll give it a go. But you're talking for a sensible amount of money, which I'm sure you need. And I have to say your valuation right now is crazy.
I don't know how you can disagree with me and Pete and then say that it's the money, the valuation.
No, you said
it was a
you
valuation
thought
that we...
No, I'll tell you why, Duncan, because you said you thought the product was rubbish.
No,
And
I
let me
didn't.
be
No,
clear.
no, I never. I said it's
Let
very
me
good
be
quality,
clear.
it's
You
high quality.
completely
No, I
agreed
didn't.
with
It's lovely,
Peter
it's
that
lovely.
it was just a blanket with handles on. Anyway, I'm not having
you're
another
just
conversation
rambling
with
now.
Duncan. I'm having a conversation with the people in front of me. I just think that, unfortunately, I don't know. And you haven't got me there. So I'm afraid I'm out.
Okay,
Thank you.
Deborah. Yeah.
No investment from Deborah Meaden. Leaving Kelly Hoppen, the only dragon still able to get into bed with the entrepreneurs. Snuggle Bundle has certainly brought out her maternal side. Will it unleash the investor in her too?
I've sat here really loving this product. I really do think you've created something that's, as much as Peter is slagging it off, I do think it's clever. And I was going to make an offer, but I'm not, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when I asked you about Boots, I'm dealing with Boots on something else at the moment. I hadn't even shown them all this, you know, the product, but just spoke to them. They automatically want you to come in and see it. You've also done all the trade shows.
They met us at a trade show, sorry.
It's been a very, very
Right, so they've
recent
actually
thing, yeah.
seen
They've
it,
seen
so
it.
that's even more worrying for me. They really should have got you back in to place an order. And I don't want to slag you off because I do think it's a brilliant product. So I'm afraid I'm out, but I do think it's very good.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
All the best.
It's a blanket no for Snuggle Bundle, proving that having a highly qualified member of your team doesn't always guarantee investment.
Shame I didn't see the real potential in it because, you know, we have got so many satisfied customers at the
Yeah, if they were to hear our customers, they
Yeah.
would have certainly invested.